Live. I'm Michael Vanover, now joined by Sylvia Johnson, a volunteer manager at Hosparus Health. Sylvia, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. We've talked about a lot of good stuff today, but this may take the cake here. This is really neat what you guys are doing at Hosparus. You have something called the Hosparus Health Hero Program.
Yes.
Give me a little bit of background on the Hero Program.
So we rely heavily on the support of volunteers to add to our holistic care that we provide to patients and families, and we wanted to grow that, especially during the holiday season, and make sure that patients and families who are experiencing life-limiting illness have as much support in the community as possible. And so we're actively looking for volunteers who have an interest in encouraging those families and their caregivers, supporting them, giving them items that they need, following up with them during a time that can be stressful, have high depression, loneliness, and things like that that come associated with loss or life-limiting illness.
So one of the things I thought was interesting when we were talking before the show was that there's all kinds of different things people can do.
Correct.
I know you just rattled off a few of them, but can you kind of go into a little bit deeper dive with that for
Sure.
me? Like, so some of it's over the phone, some of it's making things, right? So just take me through all the different options.
So there are multiple things. We have a number of volunteers in the community who will make quilts or blankets, sensory mitts, hats, gloves, socks, anything you think in terms of warmth and comfort. Volunteers will do that for us, and families and patients appreciate those things because if you're in a facility, you're very limited on the things that you're provided for there, right? And we can help supplement those things. And it comes out of compassion and care. If you want to deliver those items, go sit with someone, let them know that someone in the community cares about them and that they thought enough of them to make this simple item for them to keep. It makes a world of difference to them to know that they haven't been forgotten and that someone has them on their mind. We also have volunteers that do cards and that do phone calls, and will check in on families and patients and caregivers as well because they get stressed, they get lonely, they get isolated, just to say, hey, would you like a cup of coffee? Would you like a little time or some companionship? And then we have the newest thing that we have out. It's a holistic care kit, and it has some mindfulness items, a book about journaling your life story, some things to help you with headaches, nausea. We're even including essential oils if the family requests it to help them treat some of the symptoms of stress and anxiety if they want to take an alternative route.
So when you talk about the little things, like a cup of coffee or like sitting with somebody for a little bit, talk about the impact that you've seen. You've been with Hosparus for 2 years, you were telling me. Talk about the impact you've seen of those little gestures that so many of us take for granted.
Well, yes, I've been with Hosparus for 2 years, and I have also been a caregiver now almost 2 years. And so the small things, people always want to say, where do you need help? And when you're so busy, you can't even think about what you could give to someone else to help. But when someone takes your hand and sits down and shares a cup of coffee with you, or takes you to just a bookstore and you sit and you laugh and you flip through a magazine and you talk about just current events, it takes your mind off the stress of what you feel like you're dealing with every day. And it allows you to be human, it allows you to be present, it allows you to live in the moment and to go back to a time where you felt like your normal self. And during the holiday season, you're seeing people with their loved ones and their families, you've got all these wonderful holiday movies on, and you can sometimes wonder, like, why isn't my life like that? Or why am I going through what I'm going through? And who cares about me? And this gives patients and their caregivers an opportunity to have someone say, I care, and people around you care, and Hosparus Health cares. And it gives you the opportunity to create some positive moments, to create more moments of joy and excitement, so that you're not constantly focused on what's happening with you with your illness.
We're showing now pictures of some caregivers and some people that are getting some of these great items, and you brought so much good stuff with you today, but you guys are in need of volunteers. And people that are watching this right now, I don't know how you wouldn't be touched by what you guys are doing at Hosparus, but you need help, and if they want to volunteer, how can they go about doing that?
If you're interested in volunteering, you can just go to our website, hosparushealth.org, and right there on the top it says volunteers, and you can sign up. We have 2 trainings this month, one that's coming up on November the 9th, and then another one that is that we recently added November the 22nd.
We only have a few seconds left, but I wanted you to hold up a couple of these cool things here. This is some really pretty stuff. And again, if you can't get out and see people, you can make these things, and they'll give it to people and make people's people's
Correct.
day. Again, cup of coffees, all kinds of things that you guys can do to make a difference. And again, if you want to volunteer, the website one more time.
hosparushealth.org.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Sylvia Johnson, everybody. She was awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here again. We hope everybody has a great weekend and stay warm out there.